Um, well, how is he able to determine that it's possible for God to lie?
He says there's no logical contradiction in God having the possibility of lying.
How does he know there's no contradiction?
Hmm.
Okay,
I,
and in fact, contradictions wouldn't be a problem. Okay, how shall I put this? Acknowledge that God is ultimate and that He cannot lie. Then they can't invoke that contradictions are a problem. Okay, it's only because God Himself it cannot lie, He cannot exude falsehood, and the world reflects Him. That's why there can't be contradictory states, because everything that God creates is revelatory of God. Okay, since God is always truthful, He cannot lie. That is why the law of non-contradiction holds for each entity. Yeah, Xerxes, look, the guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay, and by the way, he said there's no contradiction with God possibly lying. Sure, there's a contradiction. The God of the Bible says He cannot lie, so we have a contradiction there. So what he's then going to have to do is to show that the God of the Bible can and does not exist. But he can't do that because the God of the Bible would have to exist in order to even attempt to discuss anything in his world around him. Yeah, Xerxes is an argumentative, belligerent, obnoxious sophist. Okay,
yeah. What Queen Xerxes did yesterday was he dragged a Christian into his room who wasn't very educated on philosophy. And he just proceeded to beat him into the ground, and he wasn't letting any Christian try to defend him. He's a
well,
scumbag.
He's very belligerent. Okay, which is not the same thing as being aggressive and assertive in a debate. Okay, and he simply ignores various cogent rebuttals without offering a counter rebuttal, and then he just womp. Okay, this is what some of them do.
Hey Darth,
Yes,
what does ontology entail?
ontology is the nature of being of whatever is in view. So we could talk about the ontology of frogs or rocks. Um, a lot of times we're talking about the ontology of everything, which would be metaphysics. Sometimes ontology references everything, sometimes it references rocks.
Like the point of view of rocks?
No, ontology is what is the nature of being for a rock or a frog?
Oh, okay.
What is it to be a frog versus not a frog? It's the nature of being. So ontology about existence, metaphysics, we could only come to know that is if what is ultimate ontologically is a mind and has constructed the nature of the world that what it is, and that he has either directly or indirectly to make us know about the nature of reality around us. This is why, from a Christian point of view, we don't have people who are seriously not believing in identity over time or the regularity of nature. It would be insane to deny it. And God has made us to think this way at a foundational cognitive level. Right? But when unbelievers deny God, when they deny that we're made in the image of God, they have no basis whatsoever to ground the ontology of existence. For them, any particular, and it's juxtaposition with any other particular is simply shrouded in ultimate mystery. Now, the unbelievers laugh at this and go, "Oh, we have physics. You know, we can put a man on the moon." It doesn't matter that you have predictive capability, because in a chance world, you can get the same results. To use an analogy, I could have a pair of dice that are not fixed and roll double sixes. On the other hand, the dice could be true and fair, and they could come up double sixes. And then I could roll the dice and say, I predict that the third roll will be double sixes. And boom, came up double sixes. Well, then the dice must be fixed then. Well, not necessarily. See, in a world without God, there's no basis to talk about physics. There's no basis to talk about regularity. There's no basis to talk about probabilities, right? Because when you make a probabilistic assessment, some things in our world must not change while other things can and do change. So, what is it from an ontological worldview level is static, unchanging, and absolute in order to make a probabilistic assessment? Well, the only thing that we could invoke is going to have to be God, because we can only invoke God if and only if He reveals Himself. And if they say, well, no, I don't accept that, say, good. Then what is your final absolute that will impose and secure any identity over time or regularity? And their only answer is, well, it seems to be that way. Yeah, so what? This is why unbelief in the God of the Bible is insane. And the worst of it is not because it's insanity this side of the grave. It's insanity because what is facing them beyond the grave. And they're shameless. They laugh about it. Boy, Christopher Hitchens not laughing right now, folks. He's not laughing.
Ron Reagan's not going to be laughing either. He will
No.
be afraid of burning in hell.
Did you know that Christopher Hitchens, the moment his body died and he had conscious existence beyond death, he actually quoted Ralphie from A Christmas Story? Ralphie was helping to change his father's tire and he spilled the lug nuts. And Ralphie and Christopher Hitchens said it to himself consciously the moment he died. Ralphie said, "Oh, fuck."
Wasn't the last word of Christopher Hitchens capitalism downfall?
What? Say that again?
I believe I heard this a while ago that I don't know if this is true, that Christopher Hitchens' last words were capitalism downfall.
Capitalism downfall? I don't
Hey,
know why he would say that.
Darth, I heard
yeah.
I saw a video of a guy or a lady that claimed she was friends with Anton LaVey, and she talks about Anton LaVey being on his deathbed, and and right before he passed, she was saying that he goes, he cried out, "Oh no, what have I done?" And he passed away. I'll try and find that video.
I would like to see that.
Haven't you heard that about the capitalism downfall? I'm not sure what he meant by that.
No, and I'm surprised. I'm not saying it's not true, but I didn't think that Christopher Hitchens was a socialist or a Marxist. Among the things we could criticize for, I don't, unless I'm mistaken, I don't think he was a socialist.
Yeah, I think he was a socialist.
Really? Okay, well then I'm wrong. Then I wasn't aware of that. Here, let me play a quick clip of Christopher Hitchens.
He was a Trotskyist. Yeah, that's what he says. Trotskyist. Second only to Lenin.
Oh, okay. All right.
adjective
Thank you for correcting. Here's Christopher Hitchens. And Christopher Hitchens is going to be channeling the true nature of all atheists that come onto Discord. And away we go.
So what if God actually exists, sir? And what if he actually has provided everything for you? He's granted you life. He has given you health. He has given you food. He's given you the trees to write your screed against him. He's provided you royalties. It all came from him. What if that is true, sir? Would he not have been good to you?
No, he wouldn't, because if that were true, it would mean that I had an eternal supervising parent who would never die and let me get on with my life, never let me grow up, would keep me under surveillance
But you have, sir.
and supervision every minute of my life,
but
and
you
constantly ask me to be thanking and praising him.
Yeah.
I think it would be.
Oh, the horror of showing gratitude toward God.
Isn't part
Like,
of the
it would be like
scenario.
living in North Korea. I think it would be a horrible outcome.
Well, not sure that God is Kim Jong-il, but what if what I said is true?
Well, ask Kim Jong-il. He has a different opinion.
Uh-huh. So if that is the God who's made you and created you, he's allowed you to live your life, shouldn't that be a sign of kindness to you?
No,
Oh.
I don't want anyone's permission to live my life. Thanks.
All righty. Well, it's not that you've been
I
asked
think
or
it's
that you asked him.
I think it's servile, and one is expected to constantly grovel as a result.
All right, Christopher Hitchens, round two of what if. What if God exists? He's provided everything for you. He's kept you together by the power of his word. If that is truly God, do you believe that God, if he's provided everything for you, has rights on your life?
No.
Because?
Why should he? What gives him this right?
Because he owns you. He's created everything for you. He's kept
Well, I
you
don't
alive.
want to be owned. I don't want to be owned, and I don't recognize anyone's right to own me.
Really?
That last part was not Christopher Hitchens. That was a little girl throwing a temper tantrum. That is the brilliant mind of one of the leading atheists who atheists look up to. Now, is there any atheist in this room before I make my exit stage right? Is there any atheist in the room who will say that what Christopher Hitchens just said is wise and true? Not one. Not one atheist will agree with Christopher Hitchens.
He's like one of the high priests too.
I mean, that clip is such a fantastic clip showing the absolute psychoticness of atheism. I play it almost on a daily basis. Okay? This is the true mentality behind atheists. Matt de la Bloviator said the same thing. If Jesus Christ were real, I still wouldn't worship him. I mean, that's psychotic. It doesn't get any more crazy than that. Anyway, I have an errand to run. I'll try to be back on in maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I guess that put everybody to sleep, I guess.
I heard
You're
a
all
while
so
ago
calm.
Darth talking speak. It was actually kind of touching, the speech he made. It was something relating to love. And I enjoyed listening to that, like rather than to hear the combative what usually goes on, the debate bro stuff. It was touching to hear about like love and kindness and generosity for a change. This was a while ago, I
Yeah,
think.
quite often, they do talk about that sort of stuff, but it's normally once they've torn through all the atheists.
Would you be talking about that stuff?
Like
What,
what
the,
did he
the
say?
Bible and stuff, yeah.
I can remember when I was a kid, I volunteered at churches a lot. And what we did a lot of volunteer work. It was quite rewarding, actually. Created connections for life. So it was quite good.
So why didn't you debate Darth? I mean, that's what everybody wants to know. Like you're, a
Me?
prominent atheist in the community.
I don't think I'm a
What
prominent
was wrong with
atheist. I don't debate. I mean, he's way out of my league, I think. Like, he's been studying this for decades.
you? Yeah, he has been doing it for a while. I think he says 10 years.
Yeah,
So
yeah. No, I hate to frustrate him with like not knowing the basic concepts, and um,
I don't know, man. Are you an atheist? It sounds like, with all that love stuff,
well,
maybe
I mean, you
you're
don't have to be
coming
an
around to the
atheist.
idea.
So okay, so I'll tell you my process. I appreciate the question. So I grew up in a Jewish family, quite religious. My mom was very conservative. My father was a bit more liberal, given their different backgrounds. At first, I had it was just existed in my life. I didn't like pay much attention to it. Did the whole thing, did the whatever. Then when I became like 11, I started like finally form my own personality. And throughout to like 13, 15, I was very anti-theistic, like very, very hateful towards religious people. And I was like, you know what? I learned these cool arguments. I'm gonna fucking use them against my mom and dad. And they don't really get bothered that much by it. They just like, oh, he started to think for himself. That's interesting. Let him have this process for himself. So at first I was very anti-theistic, like very fuck religion. They've ruined everything. Um, this was while I still like, this is how secular Sweden is. While I still was by my parents, like we have a long history of volunteer work, of charity in my family. So there didn't exist any other venue. I mean, the most prominent venues were the churches. So while I was there, I still had a very anti-theistic view. I didn't hate Christians or Muslims or Jews or anything like that. I just was like, oh, dude, why is there so much suffering in the world? And why is all this bullshit happening? So at first I was very anti-theistic. I became a bit softer towards people. I became more patient and more empathetic. Like, charity tends to do that, especially working in churches, which in Sweden were a place where a lot of newly immigrated people came seeking help, food, shelter, comfort. We did a lot of good work. So you learn patience speaking with someone who literally cannot communicate with you. From my yeah.
Yeah, sorry. So basically, you're saying, I mean, that's really great that you did a lot of charity work. I mean, that's super cool. But I mean, is there a reason that you're like, holding on to the atheist position, or have you been? I mean,
So I've thought about
why haven't
that.
you converted yet? I mean,
Well, I mean, if I were to convert, I wouldn't be conformed to the religion of my family, which is Judaism. I mean, that's everyone, most people at least,
they're
uphold the
just as bad
religion.
as the atheists. They're basically Satan worshippers. It's like the way. So
The
you want to
Jews
stick with
are.
the Christianity?
I don't think Jews are Satan worshippers.
I mean, they sort of, if they're not worshipping God, then they're worshipping the false idol.
Well, they are worshiping God.
Not really.
Okay. I don't know what to say
Yeah,
to that.
because they denied Jesus.
Well, How do you know that they want messianic?
That's that they still wouldn't accept Jesus if they're still Jews.
It's well,
But
I don't want to get into it too much on my part, but yeah. So I moved away from like being anti-theist to like being more like soft and patient. Towards now, I'm like more agnostic. To me, like here's I've thought about it. What would make me believe in God? Like if somehow we went to a different planet and I saw human beings on a different planet, probably in that instant I would start believing in God. Like if I saw
if you saw aliens on another planet, then
no,
you
if
would.
no, if I went to another planet and I saw human beings just the way you and I are human beings on the planet, I would be. This is so unbelievable that this
I mean,
is
isn't
just
the fact that you exist though?
the fact that
I mean,
I mean,
come on, this is pretty crazy. Yeah, intelligent designer heard it, right?
I've heard about it. I'm not too well read on it.
Okay, so basically, there's so much
I think
universe.
my sister believes in
You'd like an
intelligent design.
intelligent designer to have designed it. Like if you was just walking through the desert across a watch, then obviously you'd know that someone had made that because of within it.
Yeah. No, my sister believes in intelligent design. Like I used to pay a lot more attention to that in my hardcore anti-theist phase. I used to listen to Christopher Hitchens all the time. I was like, dude, you just wreck these guys. This is fucking. It's like a you know the euphoric debate, bro, like dunking on someone, kind of like feeling. I grew out of that. Yeah, I grew out of that. Think it wasn't as interesting anymore.
Well, we've been dunking on the atheists for a while. You know, obviously, there was that four horsemen of the apocalypse stage, but they sort of got wrecked over time. Recently, Darth Dawkins even destroyed Lawrence Krauss. I don't know if you've heard about.
Someone sent me a YouTube video about that. That was interesting. No, I didn't like the moderator, and the moderator was ridiculous in that. It was so weird. Lawrence Krauss, I thought, answered in a fine way. I just my biggest problem was with the moderator. Like Dawkins opened his mouth, and the moderator goes, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I was like, yeah, "Dude, this is weird. Why is he doing that?" They didn't really let the discussion happen. I don't know.
That's because CC felt bad that he ambushed Kraus.
Well, Kraus is. I don't think Kraus can be ambushed. Like he's pretty outspoken and very well established in the atheist community. Like that's the thing.
Sure.
I think maybe he just was concerned that the event was gonna be derailed or something like that. I think that might have been it.
I mean,
Like,
you know what's shocking is the amount of actual atheists in here, but like none of them have got an argument. And then it's unbelievable. Like you guys sit here all the time listening to Darth and nothing.
I speak to Darth. I speak to Darth.
Wrecked
Darth
you in a debate.
I speak to Darth all the time. I don't think like Darth has never been mean to me. Like me and him can speak respectfully and kindly to each other.
Well, I mean, I doubt that you've won a debate with him. I mean,
I don't
you're
think
probably
about
just
winning.
yeah,
Like I learned a lot.
You're probably just polite enough to know when to talk.
Sure.
Well, I'm not here to win anything, and I don't think Corvo is either.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's like I remember as a kid, I was like obsessed with the euphoric debate, bro. Like, this atheist destroyed, Christian got destroyed in the debate. Like I used to search that on YouTube all the time. Like I was like, oh shit, damn son. Like I used to think that was lit as a kid. I don't like as like growing older. Like I'm 26 now. Like growing older, I just don't find it satisfying. I love arguments. I love thoughts. I love learning. So I don't think anyone learns really from just debating and destroying each other.
I think we do. I think that we learn how to speak better. We learn how to articulate ourselves when we're making a point, especially about incredibly detailed things. I think
If it's
that
good faith, though,
we've been
a lot of
crushing
times it's not.
atheists, changing hearts and minds. Like over the years, I mean, it's been incredible. Like really, Darth, got me into all of this stuff, and I've been going around, and there's loads of other people that have gone around, and we've converted.
Well, I'm happy that you do that. I don't think that that's bad or anything. I don't put any
So
like
I just feel
emotions.
like, honestly, you guys are sick. You guys, loads of people in here go around doing that epic. So thank you, because it helped me load.
Do you ever come out like from a discussion with an atheist feeling more fulfilled, like feeling like it was a nice discussion and you feel like you made a connection to a human being?
Most of the time, it's like, see, the way that I see it is that you've got to give them a 1-2 punch. You've got to go in, you've got to jab them to take down their armor, and then hit them with the, obviously, the only way to know anything is with Jesus, and he literally died on the cross for your sins, and he loves you, and we've got a great community because obviously we're guided by Jesus. We're not in chaos like the rest of these guys you see all over the place, and we've got a purpose. We're moving towards something good, and yeah, you could be a part of that.
So the way to do it is with a 1-2 punch, right? To convince people.
Exactly.
Well, it doesn't work,
The armor breaker.
It doesn't work.
It does. It does.
Have you been?
Yeah, it works with some individuals, people that are open to the truth.
So, Foxy, have you always been religious?
No, actually. What was it? So I met Darth once. I'd never really thought about it. I was an atheist. And he said to me...
No. In your younger years, did you go to church and anything like that?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
We don't. So, yeah, basically met Darth. He taught me what epistemology was, started learning about that sort of stuff. And here we are today, like a Christian. So, yeah, it did take me a while, like some of you guys probably.
Now, Fox, are you the same Fox that was in Pal Talk a few years ago? Because I remember there was a Fox or Foxy or something, an atheist in Pal Talk that he would always point to the pharaohs, the number of pharaohs, and said it didn't line up with the Bible or the accounts of the Bible because there were so many pharaohs.
That probably wasn't me, but that might have been Sirius Fox. Like, I know that guy. He's a pretty interesting guy, but he's not a Christian. Just like,
okay,
and yeah, it makes sense.
Foxy, have you heard Catholic traditionalists' argument? The kind of the left hand and right hand side of the page, evidence that we have on one side, none that we have on the other, and how atheists choose the one with no evidence. Have you heard that argument that he does?
I have. That's a great argument.
Yeah.
He nicked that sort of repurposed Frian's argument, Frian Republic. So, but
before I ask them that, before I ask them that question, the atheist that question, I always present the first scenario of human beings that have physically died throughout the history of mankind, and people that are physically alive today, whether they'll ultimately die, because I want to show if they don't remain consistent with regards to the second scenario that I present, then it'll be blatant. It'll be easily shown that they're not remaining consistent, that they're dishonest.
Exactly. That's the best way. I've been thinking about that recently. You want to come in with the first premise that they're definitely going to agree to, and then the second premise follows from the first premise in a way that they can't refute. It's just, sometimes you go in with this most simple premise first. Maybe that's not the best.
What if they claim that they're just consistently inconsistent and therefore refute their inconsistency?
Well, they would have to, the thing is, if they're consistently inconsistent, then it would make sense that they hold the atheist position because they're just not using reasoning capability like one should, and it's bringing them to a false conclusion.
Yeah.
If they were inconsistent, in that way as well, which they wouldn't be able to be because otherwise they wouldn't exist, then, well, basically they wouldn't exist. You have to be consistent in some manner in order to exist. That's like consistently persisting through time. That's a necessity. If you
Yeah, when I called up a YouTube channel, it was Shannon Q and some other guy that are atheists that I was speaking to, and she tried to get out of it by saying that her little pink purse is the ultimate.
Oh, that's the old celestial teapot part argument. Obviously, what they do, there's like two options. Either they say it's literally a teapot, and that would make sense because you're saying that the thing that creates and institutes the entire physical world is made of physical properties, so that doesn't. Or you're saying that this teapot has all of the traits of the Christian God exactly, and you're essentially just talking about the Christian God as if it's a teapot, when obviously the Christian God is a teapot, because, like I said about the physical. So, yeah.
I told her she's an idiot. I mean, utterly ridiculous to say that her little pink purse is the ultimate behind all that is, and so they cut me off.
Yeah, that's what the atheists do. Instead of having like a legitimate argument, they start talking nonsense, and then yeah, they cut you off.
I think, Darth actually answers those things quite well. When someone will say, like, well, it's my purse is the ultimate thing. And they go, okay, does your purse institute everything that is, can be, and cannot be? And they go, yeah. And he goes, you're right, you're lying to me.
He is really good at that. That was hilarious. What did he do to destroy her? He started out with what was the question? Oh my.
Yeah, because she was saying, well, you don't need an ultimate, with regards to her little pink purse, that it simply is, and therefore it is the ultimate. It's just ridiculous.
Hi guys.
Hello.
Hi, I'm an atheist and a empiricist and evidentialist and naturalist, and I would like material evidence for a non-material God, please. Thank you.
Are you a solipsist?
No, just a naturalist empiricist. Please provide me material evidence for an immaterial God.
Yeah, okay, don't overtalk me.
I want material evidence for.
Okay, can we
there's no evidence
on him, please? Can we mute him?
Really? Let him talk. Let him talk. He's being courteous.
There's no evidence for God.
So usually, this is what I understand from philosophy. What can't be proven through evidence can be reasoned through. Can be proven through reason. I mean, can be reasoned through a thought, through like ontology.
No.
No. Prove it. Prove it.
Your brain states are just atoms bouncing around and electrical impulses in a meat machine called your brain.
I mean, how do you know that brains exist?
They're just these are just expressions of like what we see in the natural world. Logic is just a language.
How do you know that the world is natural?
Reality.
Yeah, okay, you're a troll. You are.
It feels like the other guy is just like straw manning a position. Not Black Up, but the other guy calling him a troll.
Who's that? Who are you saying?
These are my
I don't know.
axioms. My axioms, and they're unassailable.
No, someone was, I think, straw manning a position. Darth Dawkins.
Oh yeah, they always straw man. Any atheist that you be like, oh hi, are you an atheist? They'll be like, yeah, they're basically straw man at that point.
I'm neutral on whether God exists or not.
So Foxy, I'm actually curious in how you challenge Blackout's claim. I'm genuinely, honestly curious.
Well, we just call him a troll and then just mute him or something.
You can't because I'm just neutral on God.
No, that makes him all powerful.
Yeah, I can't. My position cannot be assailed because I'm not positing a position. I exist.
Well, you can't be neutral on something that doesn't exist.
Well, I mean, I'm neutral on the question of it, so.
I mean, obviously, hold the position.
I don't have a worldview. I don't have a worldview. I am worldview exempt. I exist in some state of being where I'm not subject to any world or any criticism or attacks.
So, Christianity is a worldview.
These are my unassailable axioms, so we're just going to accept them as such. So go pound sand.
May I actually give it a go to Steelman the presuppositionist position? I'll do my best. I promise.
I don't know if, like, you're an atheist. I mean, maybe
I-
you should actually debate Blackout then.
If you corner me, I'm just going to run and hide in a solipsistic.
I'm actually curious. I promise I can I will do it in good faith. You can if you feel I'm not doing a good job, you can interrupt me. Okay, so Blackout, if you don't have a worldview, if you don't have a worldview, how do you know anything you know? What's that?
I don't, but it doesn't mean God exists. That's just gaps. You're just filling the gaps. You just want to position us to believe in some sort of like fairy tale make believe God written about in some book by Bronze Age goat herders. Unacceptable.
I think
What's the evidence for that?
I've heard.
Do you have an argument for God, or are you wasting my time?
The argument is that you need, in order to even have a discussion, you need to accept.
Well, I'm talking right now, so I'm talking right now, and I don't believe in God. So boom, done.
No, to even have
your
a
argument has already
conversation.
been defeated.
I'm trying in good faith. Give me a chance. To begin to even have a discussion, you must make a whole host of presuppositional claims to even begin to communicate with another human being, right?
That's your claim, but I exist, and I'm speaking to you right now, so I have intelligibility. So my existence and me talking to you invalidates your entire position.
So you existing and talking to me demonstrate that you do in fact believe in that.
Well, you agree. You agree.
In some axioms, meaning
you agree because you're talking to me, so you've already conceded that I have intelligibility. It's over.
No, I'm saying that saying you don't exist and saying nothing is real, like you're not acting. You're not acting as though that was true because you're participating in a conversation with me.
I didn't say it didn't exist. I just says I don't know. I don't make any claims because there isn't any truth or anything that can be true, and I don't even know if that statement is true. See, isn't that interesting? It's kind of like an infinite regress.
I don't know what to go.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I think the agnostic is making a lot of sense. That no one knows anything, and therefore no one knows God exists, even God Himself, because no one knows anything. It does follow.
No, I know lots of things, so I don't know why you keep saying no one knows anything. It's
no. The atheists say.
No, he's saying the agnostics. No, the agnostics, not the atheists. But same thing.
The Gnostics know lots of things too. It's not that they don't know anything.
No, I mean, in a way where they couldn't be wrong about it. No, but in a way where they couldn't be wrong about it.
I know lots of things that I can't be wrong about.
Doubt it,
No, but you think there's whether I happen to it on chance, there's still things I can know that I can't be wrong about.
No, I mean, do you know that you know something that you couldn't be wrong about in a way that you couldn't be wrong about it?
Yeah, I know two things, but.
Well, what are those two things that you know in a way that you couldn't be wrong about it?
I exist and I'm not the God you believe in.
Yeah, okay, but that assumes that your reasoning about your reasoning is valid. It assumes that you're not a solipsist. It assumes so much, right?
No, it doesn't assume anything. My reasoning can be invalid. Doesn't mean I don't know I exist.
Well, what's your argument?
The God you believe in.
What's your argument that you exist?
Let's not go through this again. Let's just keep going.
Well, that went far.
Oh, dude, come on. He set it up for you so easily.
Damn, Bob tapped out.
Yo, Bob, you just had to say, hey, your question presumes.
That same old argument again, right?
Dude, it's such an easy hit.
I've never seen you tap out, Bob. Damn.
It's a soft pitch. Just say, hey, your question assumes I do.
Past it. We've been through it. We've argued. We've been through it. He knows. So let's move past it to something new, right? I want to keep going on with the conversation because we never get there, right? So keep going on, right? I've explained to you.
Yo, Bart, have you ever seen Bob tap out? I've never
And
seen
whatever
it
Yo,
before.
form,
Bob.
if you want me
Yo,
to, if you want me to run through it,
he
I'll run
can't hide
through
it
it. But what's the
anymore.
point? Let's go move on to keep going.
Bob, you've already
Yeah,
tapped
but
out,
Bob,
bro.
it's
He knows what
designed.
he knows what's my response is going to
He
be.
was
So
he was talking about design, Bob. Like his
was it?
mentality is of God. He's just playing his game while he drives his truck.
Yeah. So you want me to go through the whole thing, and you guys, all right, fine. I know experience, in whatever form I am. People interact with me. I have thoughts. I have beliefs. If I didn't, I wouldn't have thoughts and beliefs. So I know I exist. I know I'm not the God you
Where did
believe
your
in
man
because
voice go, Bob?
the
Where did the
God you
man
believe in
voice
is all
go, Bob?
knowing and cannot lie.
We got to
So
put you on testosterone, man. How old are you? We got to give you the cream. It's like a
Look,
it's like a gel that you put
honestly,
on, all right, Bob?
honestly, I do think that Bob sounds quite beaten down. So I mean,
Yeah.
pick on it.
I mean, I
But it's
love
good
Bob
to
and
see you,
all,
Bob,
but
man.
you,
I
you
hope you're
know,
well,
you
man.
got to put some
Yo,
testosterone now.
you know what we need to do? We need to beat up on Face of Yah for beating up Bob. Face, don't ever do that to Bob again, man. You made him tap out in like 5 seconds flat.
I felt
Yeah, I guess so.
so
Yeah.
bad. I just said move on. I don't why he knows my response. So I said move on. Let's keep going though. Keep going with this argument. I gave you my response. Keep going.
No,
Well, I know
Bob,
what you're saying.
it's over,
Now what?
Bob. It's over for you, Bob.
Now what?
So yeah, okay.
What was Bob's argument? I'm curious.
He basically
Well, he
claimed that
says
he knows two
I can't know
things,
anything,
right?
and yes,
Yeah.
but I
What?
know two things that I
Well, I
cannot be
don't
wrong
think that
about.
anybody here is saying that you don't know anything, right? You must
No,
know some.
there's
Obviously in the Christian worldview, you're bestowed with knowledge of some things. That's the stuff you know.
well, right now you couldn't know anything. That could just be stimuli spewing out propositions, unintelligible statements. So you actually don't. You would have to rationally justify that you actually have intelligibility.
All right, so Foxy, I'm convinced that Ezra was born Muslim, but maybe he's not Muslim anymore, and he's a
I
Christian.
don't need intelligence.
No, you're just obsessed with Muslims, Bath. You should stop thinking about converting. It's a sin.
So again, Bob, that's just stimuli spewing out a bunch of unintelligible propositions. You have to rationally justify that you actually have intelligibility, or
No, I
else.
don't. I
mean,
know
look
two
how
things
great
that I can't be
Ezra's
wrong about,
LARP
right?
game
Well,
is.
the
I have
one,
to admire
the
it,
one
man.
is I exist, and the other one is I'm not the God you believe in.
Again, those are just two claims. You haven't offered a counter rebuttal. It sounds like you're admitting that you're reduced to absurdity since you're sticking to the same position without actually giving a rebuttal. So do you hold that position that you can still know those two things?
Yo, I bet Ezra knows the
Yes.
Our
I
Father,
don't
yo.
what
I
the fuck
bet
you
you he
talking about?
knows. I bet you he knows the Our Father, and he's Muslim. I can't believe it, yo. Yo, Ezra, you take LARPing to a whole nother level, bro. I respect that shit, man.
Bob,
What?
answer my question. Do you still hold that position that you
Yes.
can know two things to
What,
be
Dad?
true for sure?
Yes.
Wait, hold on.
I still have that
Bob, you're
position
scared
that
of
I can know
Ezra
two
too?
things that I can't be wrong about, Dad.
Bob, you're scared of
I've
Ezra
already
too?
refuted that. I've already refuted that. So now you've been
Sure,
reduced to
sure you did.
absurdity. You've
Yeah,
been
okay.
reduced to absurdity.
Yes, I'm absurd. Awesome.
Dude, Ezra just
Yo,
leveled you.
Bob, I
Okay,
didn't know you were afraid
that's
of
fine.
Ezra too.
What?
Like, yo,
No, I'm
you're
not.
afraid of Ezra too?
No, I'm not. I'm
So
just really not paying
facing
attention to
Yah,
Ezra right now.
Ezra,
I'm
who
trying to
else are you
I'm
afraid
driving.
of?
Ezra
Who else are
is
you
like
afraid
the
of?
What are you
Ezra's
talking about?
the new generation, bro. He's like the mini Darth. He's gonna wreck
He's like his
That's fine.
Achilles
I
heel,
didn't.
bro.
That's fine. I
Ezra,
didn't
how old are
understand
you,
his
man? You got to
question,
be
so I
pretty
don't
young.
understand it. That's fine. I'll give it to him. He got me. I don't understand what the hell
Ezra's
you're talking
27,
about.
bro. You don't hear it in his voice?
Ezra can't even buy a beer, and like, I mean, imagine when he becomes like 60, like Darth. He's gonna be like a Terminator, a pre-September.
Yo, or maybe it's just Bob. Bob is like, when that horses ran his last race, they just shoot him.
Kill him or retire him.
they just like let him go out to the pasture. No more Kentucky Derbies.
So explain to me how it was refuted. So you can teach me something.
Well, you've already admitted to being reduced to absurdity, so even if I do lay it out, you still couldn't even understand what I'm talking about because you're just
Okay,
an
then we have no reason to ever further talk again. So
you're
never
just an
ask me another fucking
unintelligent
question, and that's
cluster of
fine.
cells spewing out a bunch of random unintelligible propositions because
Yo,
that's
Bob,
just
you're not Darth. What do you
That's
can't
fine.
dismiss people
That's
from the
fine.
room? The fuck is wrong with
That's
you,
fine.
Mark?
If you don't
Bob?
want to have the conversation, explain it to me so I can understand it. Then don't. I mean, then don't ask me any more questions. What's the point of talking to you, right?
You don't have the
I'm trying to have.
precondition for
You
intelligibility,
want?
Bob.
I just said we could have a decent conversation. Explain it to me. If you don't want to, fine. Let's move on then.
you admitted to being reduced to absurdity. I refuted your
Sure.
position by saying
Okay.
that could just be stimuli spewing out a bunch of unintelligible propositions. So you have to rationally justify what grants you intelligibility. In other words, your ability to transmit or receive knowledge.
I have to justify that. Why do I have to justify that?
If you can't justify that, then again, you're just stimuli spewing out a bunch of unintelligible propositions.
And that's your claim, but why do I have to justify that? I mean, how? I mean, that's
I
your
just
claim,
told
right?
you, your stimuli. Listen, if you don't justify that, your stimuli spewing out a bunch of unintelligible propositions.
Yeah, well, I don't accept that claim. So explain to me why that's true.
Bob,
Why is it okay?
Bob, he's saying it's what separates you from just the movement of atoms and noises being made unintelligibly, right? If
Well,
you
he
were to
has to
explain yourself,
explain to
you
me
would
why they can't.
demonstrate. If you were to explain yourself, you would demonstrate that you have the intellectual capacity to rationalize your positions, as opposed to just repeating words that you were told, such as a parrot, right? We know a parrot can just repeat "hello, hello." We're trying to figure out if you're a parrot or if you're an actual human being.
That's fine. Just because I don't know
Am I
how
right,
I can
Ezra?
do those things. Hang on.
Or if you're one of those
Because I don't know
horses that
how I can
Muhammad
do
was
those
flying
things
in when
doesn't
he went to
mean
heaven, you know?
I
One of those
can't, right?
horses.
And what I'm being told is the only way I can do it is a certain way, and I haven't been given
Yo,
reason
Ezra, did I
that that's the only
did I
way that can happen.
Yeah,
Ezra
you
did?
properly represented my point,
Okay,
concrete.
cool.
Bob, so how do you do this? What you have to do is you have to appeal to what's primary to all contingent state of affairs, and that which grants all necessary prerequisites to you. For example, like a sperm and an egg, amino acids, DNA and RNA, a gray and white matter. You have to appeal what's primary to all these contingent state of affairs and necessary prerequisites. So what would that be?
I don't know.
Okay, then you're reduced to absurdity.
Why am I reduced to absurdity? Because I can't explain it.
Because if you can't appeal to what's
I can make up
primary to
something.
all contingent state of affairs, you don't know what grants necessary prerequisites. Therefore, you don't even know if they actually exist. Therefore, you have no justification for your intelligibility.
Yo, Bob, how is
Because
Ezra
I don't
owning you
wait.
right now? How is this
I don't
possible,
know.
Bob?
This is fine. I'm trying to understand this bullshit argument, right? So, anyways, so
Yeah, don't
because I
call it
don't
BS
know,
because
that's
go ahead.
fine. Listen, so because I don't understand where it comes from, and I can't explain where it comes from, then I'm just wrong. And because you claim that it comes from a god, then
When did I make that claim?
well, for this necessary thing, right? So great. So I don't. What if the necessary thing is just some natural property of nature?
No,
I don't know.
you can't specify what that. No, you can't give me specifically what that is, and since you can't, you no longer have any reason to believe that it actually exists. You no longer have any reason to believe that these
How
necessary
does
prerequisites actually exist.
how
Therefore,
does
once
that?
again, you've been reduced to absurdity. You're just stimuli spewing out unintelligible propositions.
I don't see how that follows because I can't explain it.
That
Then it
doesn't
doesn't
Oh,
work
of
that
course you
way.
don't see how that follows because you're a cluster of cells. Of course you don't.
Bob, he's saying you lack the intellect to explain your
How do you know that's the
position.
only way it can happen, right? So, but to me, it's just somebody claiming, "Hey, I'm going to make this thing up," where I'm saying the only way that you can get intelligibility is it has to happen this way. How do you even know that?
Bob, a
I mean,
truck driver like you should have
Yeah.
better arguments, man. This is
it's not
really
an
bad,
argument.
Bob.
It's
Are
not an
you having a
argument. I
bad
don't
day
understand.
today?
Listen, no, it's not an argument. I don't
No, I
usually
just
do this
are you?
stupid
Did you wake
pre-sub
up on the
thing
wrong
because I
side?
think it's
Did you
bullshit.
take your break?
Listen, I don't usually do the precept thing because I think it's
Oh
bullshit.
my
But
god! What did you
I'm
take? Two
trying to
big
learn it for a
trips?
minute because I'm getting bored,
Did
right?
you pick
So I
something
want
up
to
and
understand.
did you drop something on and then just pick something up and not take a break?
Yo,
Are you
look,
okay, Bob?
no, Bart, you gotta leave him alone, bro. Because if you make Bob mad, he's gonna road rage and possibly rear end somebody, some innocent person, right? Because
No, they
we've been
won't be innocent.
pre-supping them. Because we've been pre-supping them.
I want to make sure they got John 3:16 on the car, so they won't be innocent. I'm just gonna send him to God early, so it's a 2-for-1. I'm getting rid of my rage, and then send someone to God early. No,
Yeah,
like I said,
we can't.
I usually don't listen to the bullshit because to me all it seems is somebody all it seems like is someone's claiming, hey, the only way this can happen is this way, and because I'm gonna lay out the rules for it to happen this way, because you have to have this necessary thing, and it has to operate this way, and it has to operate that way, and since you can't do it in that operation, then you're just absurd. Well, anybody's never demonstrated that the way what they're claiming. They just claim it. So why should I believe it?
I've already demonstrated it, and I know the reason why you don't know how this is possible. And it again, it's because you're some juice. Like you're some grape juice. So you can't
Whoa,
understand.
whoa, whoa! Why do we got to
That's
bring them into it? What's with the anti-Semitism?
You said
Oh,
grape
juice,
Your mouth.
juice. Gotcha.
great.
Yeah,
Yes,
Bob,
grape
you're
juice.
just some grape juice. So
Okay.
no wonder why you can't understand this.
So
Grape juice in a meat bag.
instead of explaining how you know those things and how those things are actually correct, all the precepts ever do is, well, if we go with
I'm not
what
even.
you believe, then
This
you
is the
can't do
crazy thing.
anything.
I'm not even a preceptor.
I'm not gonna actually demonstrate anything I say to be true and accurate. I'm just gonna
Hold
say
on,
because
Bob. I'm actually
you
not even a
can't.
preceptor.
Well, that's the whole
I'm
precept
not even a
argument, right?
preceptor. I'm just running an argument against your epistemology. So that's pretty sad. Second of
Against
all,
my epistemology. What's my
you said you
epistemology?
didn't know what was primary to all contingent state of affairs that grants these necessary
Yeah, do you know
prerequisites
what's
so that you
primary
can have
to contingent
intelligibility.
affairs?
Therefore, you
Do
have
you
no
know?
reason to believe that it's actually there. Therefore, you don't actually have intelligibility.
Okay, sure. Do you know what's primary to all things?
Reduce to absurdity.
Do you know what's primary to all contingent things, or whatever you just said?
Well, yes, I do, but I'm not gonna give it out.
Oh, why not? You can't, because you can't demonstrate it. That's what you do, right? So sure. All right,
So you've been reduced
I'm
to
gonna claim
absurdity.
yes. I'm gonna claim yes.
You've been
It's a
reduced to
property of
absurdity.
nature. Nature's let me know in a way that I can't be wrong about, and it's let me know that there's no conscious mind behind it. So there, great. Now I know things.
No, you're not understanding. You already admitted that you live in an absurd worldview.
No. I was just it was just revealed to me through nature. Nature just my genes just something popped in my head. Now I know these things. So hey,
Nature? What's nature?
I had special revelation.
From nature? Is nature
Yes,
intelligent?
I don't know how it did it. It just did it.
I said, is nature intelligent? That's not what I
I don't know
asked.
if I don't know if it's intelligent.
Okay,
It
then
must be
it couldn't
somewhere.
reveal itself to you. It couldn't reveal itself to you
Why?
because if it was
Why does
intelligent, it
why does it have
listen.
to be
If it did
intelligent?
reveal itself to you, hold on, shut up, stop over talking. If it did reveal itself to you, you would know automatically that it's intelligent because revelation is an intelligent expression.
Okay, then it's intelligent. Sure.
So now
That's
your
because
position is
it's
changing. Wait. So
Why
now
would
I
you
know that you're
concede
making
that
stuff
point,
up.
Bob?
huh?
Yeah, Bob. Now I know that you're making
Why?
stuff.
Why would you concede that point, Bob?
I
It's
don't know because
obviously Bob is ready to come back to the flock. Welcome back,
well,
Bob.
because I'm yeah, because I'm driving through construction, so I'm kind of half paying attention and trying not to get
You
in an
see,
accident with stop and go
concrete. You see
traffic.
how he's using that? He didn't take a
Well,
break.
I'm driving
He's
through Columbus right now,
14-hour
and Columbus
shift.
is it's
I
rush
knew it.
hour, so you know.
Welcome back to the flock, Bob. We miss you.
I'm
Thinking about it, and this proves it. Actually, this proves it. Like when he's not thinking about it, he's got this subconscious desire that's geared towards, working towards God. But all the other time, when he's actually focused, he's obviously, trying to deny God, and it just came out
Yep.
there because he's clearly got it within him.
hmm Okay, yeah, and like I said, I don't know anything about philosophy and all this bullshit. I never argue the precept bullshit game. So if yeah, I'll probably say a bunch of dumb shit and probably contradict myself, but point it out, and then I'll figure it out. I ain't above being wrong.
This whole time I've been talking to somebody who is philosophically inept. That's
Yes,
hilarious.
I've told you before.
Well, no, that was pretty
I don't.
easy.
I
That
haven't
was pretty
studied
easy to point out,
philosophy.
actually. So basically, Bob here. I'm speaking to the whole room. Bob here has given me no reason to not believe that he's some grape juice being put next to a recorder and being shaken up, just making a bunch of human noises.
Okay. Yeah, you can think that. That's fine. That's what I am. Sure, I'll take that.
Oh shit!
I don't,
But why
what's the
grape
point?
juice? Grape juice isn't carbonated, so it
I
wouldn't
don't
make
know.
as much
Maybe there's like
noise.
another atheist here or something like that. We've been railing on Bob for a bit. I mean, you guys are just watching it in the background. Like, aren't any of you willing to stand up and defend your brother Bob here?
They're letting them
No,
drown.
nobody needs to defend me. I don't care if I'm stupid in philosophy and shit. Because I don't give a fuck about the philosophy.
No,
I'm just
look,
trying to
you're
waste
cool,
time while I'm
Bob.
driving down the road.
Yeah, you're cool. Don't worry
Or,
about it. You're a cool guy,
no,
Bob.
I
You've
don't.
got that
No,
nice
I
truck.
mean I appreciate it, but
You've had some
like I
great
said, I don't.
conversations, but
I'm grape juice. I have no problem saying that. If that's what I
yeah,
am, that's fine.
Carbonated grape juice.
I can have no carbonation because then it gets bubbly and bubbles tickle. I don't like being tickled.
that's the brain fizz. Okay.
The brain fizz. There you go. So, no, that's cool. Like I said, I don't mind being wrong and learning things. That's why I just wasted time on trying to learn a little bit of the precept stuff here and there.
No,
I'm
it's
not
good stuff.
really that
It's good
interested in.
stuff, and I'm glad you're here, Bob. I reckon, now that you started thinking like that, you're going to return to the fold. I feel I actually have hope for you, genuinely. Looking forward to that.
This is what somebody who sounds like after they got beat up in a fight, and they were like, "I was just playing. I didn't want to fight at all." But before the fight, he was like, "Before the fight,
Typical school fight.
I said I got beat up, yeah, because
before the fight, he was like, he was talking
terms.
all that shit. He was like, Ezra, you're a punk. I got you. I'm gonna beat your
We
ass."
caught him lacking. That's what
When
we
did I
did.
say
Caught him lacking.
Then Ezra took off his shirt, and you were like, "Oh shit."
I don't see what
Bruce
the
Lee.
point. I don't see the problem. See, I'm man enough to say that. Yeah, somebody beat
Everyone's
me
dancing
and
until the real
outspoke me
guys come
and
in.
outthought me. Yeah.
Right.
What? I'm sorry, you guys aren't man enough to admit when somebody outthinks you and outsmarts you.
And now he wants to
Right?
moralize after getting beat up. At least I can take a beat.
So
At least I can take a beating like a man. At least I can take a punch like a man.
I can. That's no problem.
At least he's being a man, not like a coward like others.
At least I didn't run. At least I just took the ass whooping like a man.
Yeah, I will. I'll take it. I got no problem
No,
saying somebody's
that is
smart,
good.
knows
It's
a little bit more
definitely
than me and
noble.
about things, right?
Yeah. So this is what happens every single time, right? You lay out an argument. The atheists, they essentially either refuse to answer it or give you a terrible answer. And then, they claim victory. Now, obviously, we've got a much more pleasant environment to debate the atheists. Nobody's willing to defend themselves because they're
I'm willing
getting
to defend
crushed.
myself. What are you talking about?
Well,
I
you
defend
fail
myself all the
to
time if I
defend
need to.
yourself. You fail
Well, that way,
miserably.
in that argument, yeah, I guess. I don't know if I
Yeah.
did or not.
So, look, this is what I
Sure.
mean. Like, maybe what you want to do, go back to the drawing board, stick a couple of hours in or something, try and write down an argument, and then come back, and yeah.
That's not what I like to argue, though. I don't like to argue that the precept bullshit,
Yeah.
right? I'd rather stick to the Bible and the other shit, right? The
That's fine.
contradictions,
Yeah.
incoherencies in the Bible. That's my type of thing, right?
I don't think
Somebody
that you'll
else
find any of those.
likes the philosophy, and they don't want to argue the scripture. So everyone's got their own little thing that they like.
Yeah, well, look, you're reading, obviously, probably, that Bible there, and you're reading false contradictions into it, right? For sure. Obviously, in the same way that you thought you were logically valid, I mean, sound with your argument. Like, you probably are misinterpreting what is written in the Bible. So, yeah.
I think everyone misinterprets what's written in the Bible. I don't think anyone knows what's actually supposed to be. I mean, otherwise, if everyone didn't misinterpret it, you wouldn't have all the denominations and the beliefs you have, right? Everyone would agree on it.
Look, I'm not sitting here saying that everybody's got a perfect interpretation of the Bible, but the fact is that you try and read contradictions to it. You've
I don't try
obviously,
and read No, I don't try and read contradictions into it.
yeah,
You absolutely do.
No,
you're
I didn't.
starting
When
off
I
with
no,
look, you're
when
starting
I
out. You've got an intention before you read it, right? You've got a plan
yes,
for what's going to be in the Bible. You read stuff
no, I
and then you
didn't.
draw
No, I
into
didn't.
it things that aren't there. Honestly, that's like you're having an illusionary experience.
No,
So
you've heard me
basically, what you're doing
explain.
is you're seeing
Why you
things
straw
that aren't
manning me,
actually there. And that's
Foxy? Why
He's
you
probably
not
straw
straw
because
manning me?
manning you.
you're so traumatized about getting defeated
You guys have heard. Come on, quit
by
straw manning me.
the
You've
theist
heard what
series
I
He's
group.
not straw manning you, Bob.
So
Yo,
Yes, he
3-zip,
is.
yeah,
guys. 3-zip. We're winning 3-zip first quarter.
All right, so listen, you guys, I've told you guys my deconversion story, right? Where I was a Christian, I believed, I
yeah,
wanted to strengthen my belief and understand God more and understand the Bible more. And as I was reading
yeah,
as a Christian to build my faith and my belief, right? I ran across problems, and when I prayed to get the answers to say, hey, look, why am I seeing it this way? This can't be the way it is. Can somebody help me out? I went to other Christians. I the internet. I prayed to God, and all the answers and everything
yeah,
else
you
I
are.
got
Yeah.
led me to believe that these contradictions and incoherencies were actually contradictions and incoherencies, and that's why I don't believe anymore.
Sounds like a
Well,
lot of
look,
crying, Bob. A lot of
It
crying,
is.
man.
you're
It is. It sucked
you
losing
can
my faith, right?
okay.
Man, it was awesome to believe that I was going to be reunited in heaven and all this other shit, right? Yeah, it sucked.
Look, so you're here, Bob, and that's the start.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got your back. Um, we'll make some arguments and stuff and debunk your position on a daily. You just got to come back here and then present your argument. You know, we'll show you where you're wrong there. Until you accept Christianity, you're going to be falling into an abyss of random lie.
He's basically predicting your future, Bob. We're all gonna help make that future come true.
I still have never seen a Christian demonstrate their truth, right? All this whole precept thing. I've never seen any one of them demonstrate
Well,
it.
that's a
All
lie,
they
right?
say, no, because what they say is well, I can demonstrate to be true by the contradictory, whatever the hell that damn thing is.
Bob, you want me to tell
Either
you?
you're
Impossible and
lying.
contradictory.
I'll break it down to you right now, Bob. You want to hear it? You want to hear it, Bob?
No, yeah, sure.
Okay. So you remember when you first born,
Yes.
and you heard him cry, you heard her cry for the first time.
Yes, and I cut the cord. Yes.
Yeah, that's it right there, man. You experienced it.
I didn't experience God at that moment. Even when
Yes,
I
that was.
believed, even
Yes,
that's
you did experience God in that moment. The thing is, you're suppressing the truth and unrighteousness.
sure I am.
Okay.
Well, the easy question is, how do you know you weren't experiencing God in that moment, Bob?
Because when I was a Christian and I believed in God and I thought I seen God or Jesus or an angel in church, I had a certain feeling about me, right? And then when my baby was born, it was a different feeling, right? It wasn't the same type of feeling.
So you know through interpretation of feelings.
Well,
Well, to
that's
me,
one
I
thing.
think if I seen Jesus or an angel in church and I had a certain feeling, that would have been like a spiritual, a heavenly feeling, right? And then when my daughter was
Oh
born,
man.
it wasn't the same type of feeling. So yeah, that
Okay.
leads me to believe that it wasn't a heavenly or spiritual feeling, right?
Bob, I have some questions. Do you want to see your children? Do you want to see your children in hell?
I don't believe in hell, so I
Whoa,
don't need to be going
Ezra,
there.
we don't have to go that far, Ezra. You know what I mean? You've been beating them
I,
down.
I think this is
We
pretty
don't got
necessary.
to go
It's
that
not like
far. You know what I mean?
so Bob,
But
would you like to see your children in heaven and be with them for eternity?
I don't believe there's a heaven, so
That's not an answer to my question. Would you like to be with your kids in heaven for eternity?
it depends on what your description of heaven is, I guess. The way I understand heaven to be, I would say in eternity, no.
And this is why we call you dishonest, Bob.
That's
Well,
not dishonesty.
because I understand heaven to be a place where there's no pain, no sorrow, no suffering, and no sin, right? Well, part of who I am is I feel sorrow for other people, which gives me empathy, which makes me want to care for other
This
people
is
and
why
help
we
other
call you
people.
dishonest, Bob.
So if I
Yeah,
was
you
in
don't know what
heaven,
dishonesty is
hang
then.
on, listen. If I was in heaven where there was a place I couldn't feel sorrow, I would no longer be me. I would be something different.
This is why we call you
So
dishonest, Bob.
I wouldn't want that type of heaven, right? So I wouldn't want to be in a place where I couldn't feel sorrow, right? It doesn't make sense to me.
This is why we call you dishonest, Bob.
That's not
Why?
dishonest. I
Because you
just
believe something
explained to you.
that you don't?
Because
Yeah,
I just
Nincloud,
explained.
please mute your mic, Nincloud, please. Thank you.
Listen,
Nope.
he asked me if I wanted to be in heaven
Not gonna
forever
do
with
it.
my daughters, right?
Sorry.
And if heaven is like the way I just described it to me, then
So
no, I don't want to be. But if you got a different description of
you're
heaven, I
you're
might say
making stuff
yes.
up. You're misrepresenting stuff. You're making stuff up. You're just talking out of your
I'm
asshole.
not making stuff up.
You don't
That's
want to
what the
be in a
Bible
place where
says.
there's no sorrow, no reason for
That's what the
sorrow.
Christian.
You're
All
just
right.
That's what
talking
the
out of your
Christian Bible says,
asshole.
right?
Yeah. All right.
So
Bob, I'll describe it to you. I'll describe heaven to you. You're present with God. It's unimaginable beauty. Um, you feel an unimaginable amount of love and peace, and everyone's kind to each other. You wouldn't want to be there with your children for eternity.
If that was the only thing about it, yeah, I'd like to be there. I don't know about eternity. I don't know if you get bored. I don't know if you could get bored to be with
Oh
me
my
like
No, no,
God!
no,
This
no.
is why we call you
Listen, Bob.
dishonest, Bob.
Bob,
yeah,
there's
every
no.
don't these
Okay,
words you
listen.
don't know what it means.
Bob, getting
what?
bored
Shut up,
is
Nincloud.
No.
getting bored is something that takes place in the brain that is an unhealthy brain scan. Now in heaven, your body can't be corrupted, and plus no time passes by. So you're just gonna be in this state of nirvana for eternity.
I thought you were a Christian. Why'd you say about
I'm Christian.
Nirvana?
Well, that's
He's
You're gonna
just
be
trying
in
to
a state of
convey a
yeah.
concept using a word that you understand
Well,
and
that's
a
a pagan
concept you
word.
understand. So
Shouldn't use
what?
that.
So wow,
Yes, yeah,
the
it doesn't
thought police
matter.
are here,
It
fellas.
I
absolutely
guess I
does.
So
mean
The
I'm
speech
sort of
police are here.
curious though. I'm sort of
so
curious
so
though
I
because you
guess
said
go ahead.
uh, yeah. I'm just sort of curious though because you said the whole thing about not being corrupted. Like your mind can be corrupted in heaven. And now
Yep.
I'm thinking, okay, so imagine if you will that you're in the middle of a lockdown because of COVID. So you have spent the whole week by yourself in your apartment to exercise social distancing. And then it occurs to you that, yeah, maybe you would want a couple of new books because you read more or less everyone in the shelf. And then you turn on the television and there's nothing interesting to watch. So you turn it off and you think, oh, good grief, I could use a good book, or good grief, I wish there was something interesting on the telly right
Yeah,
now. I'm bored.
yeah.
How is that being
Then you come
corrupt
here.
exactly?
Then you come here to talk to us about Christianity because you're seeking
Yeah.
some purpose in your life, and you know there's a missing hole. There's a hole that needs to be filled.
But
No,
So
the
you're
no. So,
here,
definition,
so
hang
you're
on,
listening
that's
to
not the
us,
point though. With the
trying to
definition,
justify your position.
come
no, no.
on.
So here's the thing.
Okay.
With
You,
the
you said being bored is corrupt. What
Yeah,
is corrupt
so
about having nothing to
basically,
watch on the television?
Ninclau, that's a chemical reaction, okay? Now, that chemical reaction causes a negative effect, and it causes you to have a sense of boredom, a sense of grief, a sense of loneliness. But that can't happen in heaven because your brain can't be corrupted. Your body won't be corrupted. You
Yes.
won't these
And
chemical
not only
reactions.
that, here on earth you are hindered by ignorance and hindered by physical or spiritual or mental conditions. So in heaven, not just the environment will not be the only thing that changes. It will be you who will flourish as the thing you are.
Are there different levels of bliss and happiness? I mean, because see, we understand what nirvana and bliss and happiness is because we have something to contradict it against, right? Contract it against. But if we're in heaven and if that's all there is, I mean, or is there a point where everything is just kind of like null and there is no joy or sadness. It's just kind of like an equal, like a dead space, and then you feel
Going
joy and
through the
happiness,
motions.
right?
Going
I
through the
don't.
motions.
Yeah, because like I said, if heaven is just no pain, no sorrow, no suffering, and it's all
This is
bliss
the
and
problem
happiness,
with you atheists.
how,
You sit here, you sit here giving us your life story day in, day out, constantly. Like we hear it all the time. And you never give any like information accounting for truth. Just making all of these claims about the things that you're doing, like, oh, I'm driving my
what are you
truck and
talking about? I'm
stuff.
asking questions about
And then
heaven.
you're solipsist. You don't even know anything external to your mind exists.
I
No,
was
no,
I
no.
was
He's
trying to answer
grape
a
juice.
question.
Wait. Hold on, Bob. He's grape juice being shaken up next to a recorder. You got to
Yes,
remember
I'm
that.
grape juice,
Exactly.
and the grape juice is trying to spill out on a table like alphabet soup, and and randomly form letters that Ezra
Yeah,
can
what's the
understand
purpose
and
of the
read.
question about heaven, Bob?
Well, because he
Purpose
asked
of the
me if I
question about heaven.
he asked me if I wanted to be in heaven eternity with
Purpose of the
happiness and
question about
bliss.
heaven.
Hey Bob,
What?
can I make a wild guess
About what?
Wait,
about
Nick
your
Cloud,
question of
we're trying to
heaven?
have a
Oh, no.
calm,
Hold on,
Cloud.
hold on.
Chill. Wait a
Uh,
second.
hold on. So Bob, I have a question about your question about heaven, because
Go
Concrete just
ahead.
asked you. Yeah, Concrete just asked you why you ask questions about heaven, and I think I know. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it is because you actually care about what other people think that isn't you.
That's
You take
bullshit.
an interest in you take a healthy interest in the people around you, and that you
You're
can
out of
work
your
with on
mind. You
a
don't know
daily
Bob.
basis.
Bob, why did you ask a question about heaven?
Because I'm trying to interact with Ezra. He's asking me questions. He wants to know my beliefs and my thinking, so I'm trying to give him the best answer I can. And to do that, I need to understand because just to say, what do you think about blue? Well, what the fuck does that? What kind of great?
Why
I
did
can,
you ask the
right?
question about heaven?
So
Well,
when he
Bob.
He's
asked me if
answering
I
you.
wanted, when
He's
he
asking
asked
for
me
clarification.
yes, if he asked me if I wanted
For
to be in
what?
heaven with my daughters forever, I need to know what this heaven's going to be like before
You
I can
already
answer
said
one way or
yes.
another.
You already said yes.
If it depends, right, on what the heaven's
You
going to
already
be
said
like.
yes. You didn't say it depends. You said yes.
Well, yeah, in relation to it actually being defined, he said yes. Yeah, you're right, Concrete. But it was actually defined, right? You're asking why is he asking for a definition on a word he doesn't understand?
No, he didn't. I didn't. That's not what I asked. So,
Yeah, so
what's
Look,
the
That
reason?
honestly,
question was incoherent. But
Darth's
whatever.
been here
once
today.
again,
We spent a lot of time here talking between ourselves and stuff like that. But Darth was here earlier. We got a lot of new people in, and really we should be focusing on preaching to them because the fact is that if you're an atheist or an agnostic, then you can't justify your worldview. All
That's
of you
not
people
preaching.
here that are atheists or agnostics will be living in a position of absurdity because you refuse to accept the Christian God. Now, that's the reason that we're cutting through these atheists through butter. They've got nothing
Yes.
to offer in terms of an intellectual argument, and that's why we've been crushing.
Okay.
It's only
Yeah,
God
so
that
Bob,
can
Why you on the
stand
I
up.
just want
meta?
to say
Hey
something.
Foxy,
That's the fact.
did you ever work out your precept argument so that it's not a argument for general theism and it's actually an argument for Christianity, or did you drop the whole shtick?
Oracle,
Look, I
wait.
used to
We'll
be
try
a
again.
monotheist, but then I converted to Christianity
Okay, all right.
because I couldn't account for the moral the moral laws in that worldview. So I realized after a while that in order to ground the position that I actually held, then there would only be one explanation for that, and that was to accept Jesus Christ. So,
Amen.
yeah.
That's fair. All right.
So Oracle, 2,000 years ago, there was this man named Jesus.
Yeah,
And
I've heard the fairy tale. It's fine.
Wait,
It's a
How do
good
you know
tale.
it's a fairy
hold on.
tale?
Hold on. You don't believe Jesus?
Right.
You don't believe Jesus existed?
I say he existed. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so do you affirm the necessity of referencing the self-revelatory revelation of the Christian God?
I don't know what Christian God is. I have the God. I don't have a Christian God.
Okay, well, you have a God. So what God position do you hold to?
I hold the traditional view
Of what?
of God. What you asked me.
That's still not telling him really anything. What specific God do you subscribe to?
What do you mean specific God?
What's your
I mean,
do you
there's
hold
only one God. What are you even talking about?
listen, do you
Yeah,
hold to
so
the position that everything is God? Do you hold to the position that there's a mind that's fundamental?
I don't know. Why are you asking me questions? You already know.
All right, this guy's
Yeah,
afraid, man. Let's leave him alone.
yeah,
He's
he,
you
scared.
he's
think
a
that
troll.
everybody's born?
He's a
No,
troll.
no, no, no.
Okay,
I
so
think you do
Oh,
know.
sorry.
You know God. You're just suppressing him in unrighteousness.
Yeah, he's a
Oh,
troll.
he's trying to be
Can we
cute.
get a mute on him?
Oh wow, this is
Yeah,
cute, bro.
right. Mute me because you can't deal with it.
Yeah,
Look,
you're not
well,
even
we
making
can
me.
look. So this is what the atheists do, and I don't even
I'm
think
not
we
an
agree on it.
atheist.
I'm
I
trying to be
just
polite,
told you.
but
Look, I don't
this
know
is what
why
they do.
you're accusing
Stop
me of being an
interrupting.
atheist.
Stop interrupting.
I'm
Please stop
interrupting you because
interrupting.
I'm correcting you.
Okay. Look, so what they do is they offer a parody of a Christian worldview. They haven't got
I hold
a
this view.
worldview to justify things for themselves. So what this guy's going to do, and we all know what he's going to do, he's going to offer up all of the traits of the Christian God and then rebrand
I
it
didn't
as
do that.
the
I didn't
Christian
do
God.
that. Look, if you're
No,
gonna
he
strawman
sounds.
me,
That's all. We know
at
that
He
least
he's
do a
going to
sounds.
better
do it.
job at
No,
strawmanning
he
me.
sounds a little bit more creative than that, right? That would be so boring
Yeah.
and
I
passe,
don't
right?
think that he is. I mean, look at his
Well, let's
profile
see. Let's see
picture.
what he does.
Yeah.
Like, go
What
ahead,
is
bro.
that?
Tell us about your
Wouldn't that
God.
logically fit?
Wait, hold on, real Romulus. Oracle has given us no reason to not believe that he's just some carrot juice being shaken up, making it intelligent.
No, because I actually have a view that you can't refute, right?
What
Because
what view?
you know the real
Wait,
God,
hold on. What view would that be? What view would that be?
right? It would be that you know that this God is not only God, but that He exists within everything.
That's not an argument.
Right?
That's
Well,
not an answer
you're
to my
claiming
question.
that he knows
That's
something,
not an answer to
right?
my
So
question.
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has to know it. You have to use this as a reference to even state anything as fact.
Yeah, let's mute this guy because this is not going anywhere.
I mean, it is getting a bit annoying, but
He's just
Yeah,
I
gonna
don't know
yeah.
hold up
why
the
it's
Now,
room.
now
annoying to
you
you.
guys see.
He's just gonna
Now
hold
you
up the
guys
room.
get this. Yeah, now you guys get this tiny hint about what
I mean,
we are
they're all
going
running
through every
away,
time you go
Ninklo. I
through
don't know what
something.
they're doing. You know
Hold
this is
on,
my
Fox.
position,
Fox,
Ninklo.
I'll handle it.
Wait, Nicola, you're a theist now?
No,
No,
I'm saying. No, I'm saying.
they're
Now you
freaking out.
guys see what we go through every time you guys run your shtick.
Wait. Hold on. Well, Foxy and Concrete. I'll deal with this. Just give me some time. So, Oracle. You said we know God exists, right?
Absolutely.
Correct. We know the Christian God exists. Do you affirm the Christian
No,
God?
no. You misunderstood. You're deluded. You think it's the Christian God, but that's just a
look, I
trickster
mean,
God that you've been believed
So
into
now
worshiping.
you've made a positive claim. Now
Yeah,
you've
you're
made
in
a
delusion.
yeah. Now listen.
No, that's
You
very
made the
clear. You're in
positive.
delusion,
Hold on. Don't ever
right?
talk to
Like,
me.
why? No, because it's true, right? Like, you can't
Okay.
sit here and tell me that you're
I'll,
not.
I'll let you
o-
finish. I'll let you
okay,
finish.
Ezra,
So
you go, and then we'll let him go after. Okay.
you made the positive claim. You guys think the Christian God exists. So since you've made the positive claim, you're now gonna have to defend that with an argument. Go ahead.
Look, I don't know why these atheists are muting me. I mean, like, this is ridiculous. Look, dude, hold on. Like, you can't tell me that's a look. You can't tell me that it's not an atheist position to deny God and be in complete delusion of the actual God
Okay,
that you
can you mute him
know.
real quick? Mute him real
No,
quick so I can ask
wait,
him.
hold on. He's making.
Yeah, so Oracle, you've made the positive claim. We think the Christian God exists. You now have to back this up and give some sort of rational justification. So don't dodge, don't evade. Give us the rational
One sec.
justification. Did you not hear what I said?
You there?
Look, I guess he's ran away. I mean, he's
Or
I'm here.
or
Something
or
came.
or something
So this is
lagging.
what they have to do. When you shut down their parody, when you quickly shut down their parody, they don't know how to react to that.
Yeah, you guys need to stop saying this is what they do.
This is
No,
what they
let
do,
it,
though.
I think it's
out
No,
of
fine.
okay,
You
Let
hold
him.
know
on, hold on,
what
hold
else
on.
they
No,
do?
wait. You're
You know
making
what
the
else they do?
positive
They hustle
claim
over the
that I'm
conversation.
making the positive
What are
claim.
you
I'm not
doing?
claiming anything. You know this to be
You're
true.
just look.
You are
Yo,
not doing that.
mute
And if
him.
the
Don't give
atheists
away
stop
anything, man.
muting me,
Please.
I can actually explain my point. So are we gonna have a
Look,
conversation or I'm gonna be muted?
It's 13 years old. It's a waste of time.
look,
Not
I'm gonna
sorry.
have to restart my phone quickly. So sorry.
All right, sorry I had to run away. I'm back now. So
Nah, we
one
need a
of my kids.
better interlocutors. We can't do the
You do
fucking.
it.
We can't do the JV league all fucking day, yo.
The
The
pre-sub thing. Yeah,
JV
I'm not good with the pre-sub things.
What's the JV league?
Junior varsity.
I'm not
Ah,
even
okay.
there. I'm still in like
Yeah, I know.
tetherball,
Stop
man.
talking. Stop talking.
Yeah, why do the atheists keep muting me? What is this?
Yeah.
Why do you
Hey,
cry?
Yeah,
Like
why
a.
do they
oh
keep
yeah.
muting me?
So much? Why do you cry
Concrete
so
hush.
much?
Look,
Concrete
It's
hush.
probably a Christian
Oh
that's
yeah.
muting you.
yeah, no, I don't know why they
Please,
keep
Nick
muting
Cloud.
me. They
Name Cloud.
know the God. They're just suppressing him.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, oh yeah.
Like this is
stop
No, you
freaking.
know
ridiculous.
the God. We're the ones
That's a
that've been
lie.
talking about knowing the
You're
God.
lying.
You're just
Like
accepted the
they're
God
just
now.
allowed to filibuster and just absolutely just go off on
Please,
this.
please.
Well,
I
Okay, mute
Look,
him.
so
Mute
look,
Oracle.
this is what
Now,
we're gonna
I want
do,
to say
right? The only
something.
thing that we can do now is give him one more chance, right? So what we're gonna want from him is, because he's made claims, he's gonna have to justify the worldview from which he posits these knowledge claims, right? So we're gonna give him one chance to do that, and if he doesn't do it, he's going back on mute.
So why are you running? Why are you running away from justifying your worldview? Like, you guys are atheists, and I'm asking you as to why.
I'm not running away from justifying my worldview, but I don't know
No,
why
no, no,
you're.
no, Bob. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to
Okay,
these.
Foxy,
I mean, he's had a
mute him
really
real
good
quickly.
chance.
Well,
Yeah.
then
Honestly,
don't say why are you
he had a really
atheist.
good chance, and I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing more we can do with that.
I would like
He
to
needs
speak
go
to
down to the
Cloud now
recovery room.
because I would like to speak to Cloud because he's trying to defend Oracle. Oracle, do you want to take Cloud, do you want to take Oracle's position?
No, I don't think I share his worldview. What I was going to do was
Oh my
ask him.
gosh, what a waste.
Shut up.
Don't cry, Nick Cloud, please.
What? I'm not crying, but here's the thing: when someone talks to me and I'm responding to them, that's not an effing invitation for you to talk.
Yeah, go fuck
Okay?
yourself before I call you something else.
So Cloud, what is your worldview?
Well, I am a secular humanist.
Okay, that's not telling me anything. You have a metaphysic,
It
right?
isn't.
And there's something that's primary to all contingent state of affairs that would ground reality knowledge and exist. What would that be?
Well, reality, basically.
Okay, is reality one or is it a set of particulars?
Reality is the sum total of all of existence.
So it's a one, of course, right?
Well, I suppose you could say so. I mean, the universe
Oh,
in
good. Then
total
you're
is an
reduced to
isolated
absurdity.
system.
GG, you're reduced to absurdity. So basically, what we have here is you are reality. You're not even actually making an intelligent statement.
Hold
That's just
on. Where?
everything that's
How did you
contrary
get
to law.
into your head that I said I'm
No, hold on.
reality? I
Let's lay
didn't
this
say
out
that.
for you. Let's lay this out for you. Every single proposition that you're making, since you've made that reality is a one, every single proposition you make is just reality, and it means nothing else. There you go. Game over.
Oh, nice try. Oh, you're funny.
Damn, Nick Cloud, you got BTFO'd fast. I didn't even think
No,
you would
I
take
wasn't.
that fast.
No, I wasn't. The fact that he
Goodness
declares victory
gracious.
doesn't mean that he won anything.
No, you lost.
No, I laughed. It's
No, you
both.
lost.
No, I laughed. Both
This was
sides
an this was an
things.
intellectual fisticuff, and you lost.
No, I didn't.
Okay, can we quit with the meta and just go back to the argument and explain why that is?
It's over.
Okay.
So now
Yeah,
you're
live in your
Bob, he
fantasy.
said reality. Hold on, Cloud. Don't ever talk to me. He said reality is one. Okay, so that means everything that actually exists. Now, the entities or the propositions that he spews out means reality, and it has no other background context. Therefore, I don't even know why we're even arguing with Nincloud. Everything is just reality. What
No,
I'm saying to
Ezra,
you right now, Bob, what I'm saying to you right now, Bob, is just reality. In other words, reality, 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 reality. Did you
oh,
understand
I
what I
know,
just said?
everything is reality. I mean, like Harry Potter, for example, that's
Exactly.
fiction.
Since everything is reality, propositions mean nothing else but reality. So you can't
I
make
love how you
distinctions.
just completely
There's
dismissed what I was saying there. Just in one ear and out the other.
Oh wow,
so
Look,
is
I'm
that what
not
you
being
think
funny,
happened?
but Ezra
Yeah,
today is on
that is what
fire.
happened.
He's
He's been
killing it.
crushing these atheists. It's pretty astonishing, really.
Yeah, this is a fever,
I'm
guys.
not
This is a
100%
fever
sure
dream.
how old he is, but
This is a
I doubt
fever
that he's
dream.
over 21 years old.
So
He has
what
been
is
destroying these
the
guys.
No.
okay? That's fine.
You
Quit with
guys
the
live
meta.
in a
What is the
delusion.
what is the
Shooting fish
definition of
in a
reality,
barrel.
right? So if everything's reality, there's got to be a definition of reality, right? So what is that?
Hold on.
Okay.
Fun fact. Ezra asked me, so everything's reality, and I said, well, not everything. Harry Potter, for example, that's fiction. And Ezra replied, and I quote, "Oh yeah, reality, reality, reality." Are you fucking kidding me?
no, that's Nincloud.
He's
You need to
not
listen.
even
Oh, okay.
listening to what I'm. He's not even listening to what I'm saying.
Nincloud, you need to
Not,
listen.
not really.
I asked you. So basically, is reality one? You said yeah, basically.
No,
Concept that
I
exists.
said the universe is
So
an
that in
isolated
that case,
system.
wait. So Nincloud, you need to answer this question one more time. Is reality one or a set of particulars?
Is it one or is it
Yeah, everything that actually exists, because reality is just a set of things that actually exist. Is reality a one or is it a set of particulars?
I mean, if by set of particulars you mean there are more than one thing within reality, then yes.
Okay, cool. Then reality is an ultimate. Because what we have here, if there's two distinct what is it called? If there's two distinct essences, or there's a plurality of essences, we define what is ultimate as primary. There can't be two things that are primary simultaneously with each other. Unless you have a counter rebuttal, of course, but I don't think you can pull up one.
Well,
So do you have a counter rebuttal?
I mean, the closest thing you get to quote unquote ultimate, whatever that's supposed to mean in a non-God context, then energy would be ultimate because
Energy,
energy
okay.
is and yeah, energy because
So
everything
now you're
that
changing your
exists.
position once I refuted reality.
No,
Okay, good.
I'm not
So now
changing anything.
so
I'm
now you
elaborating.
conceded reality. Now you conceded to reality. So now let's jump to this energy thing. Is energy a plurality of things or is it one?
Well, he didn't concede. I don't know why you keep talking like that. He didn't concede anything.
Yeah, he changed his position. He said
No, I
energy.
did nothing of the kind. I elaborated on my position.
No,
Look,
I said what is
what
ultimate first,
happened?
and you said reality. Then you said no. I guess energy would be reality. Then once I refuted
No, I
both of
didn't.
them, why
No.
reality can be a,
This is what I'm saying. You need to listen when I'm talking. I
go
didn't say
ahead.
that energy was reality. I said that energy
That's not what
would
I
be.
said either. You need to
That
listen.
yes, it is. You just effing said
Okay,
it.
you're just a clown. So now listen. Energy. Let's look at energy since I've already refuted reality being the ground of all being.
No, you haven't.
Is energy a plurality of things or is it one?
He didn't say reality was the ground of all being either. I don't know why you
Yes, he
keep
did.
lying.
Bob, shut your mouth. Yes, he did.
No, he did. Okay, Dad. Don't tell me to shut my mouth,
Can someone
Dad.
mute Bob?
Right?
Can someone mute Bob? Because
No. Nobody mute
Newcastle
me because you
obviously
keep
did say
lying.
that.
Look, stop interrupting, Bob. Let Ezra
No.
go, and then maybe you can go after. We'll see about that.
So now, Nico, so which is it? Is reality the ground of all being, or is energy the ground of all being? Which is it?
Okay, so I'm gonna try to walk over you. Yeah, walk over. Hold on. Walk you through this one more time. So, reality is the sum total of all of existence, and energy, if anything, would be that which is ultimate because everything that exists is made up of energy in various states, right? And energy, according to at least insofar that the conservation laws about energy is true, and by all appearances they are, by at least as far as you can tell,
Okay.
energy can't be created or destroyed, only changed form.
Okay, cool. Is everything energy?
Yes.
Is energy ultimate?
if by ultimate you mean everlasting or
Yeah, the ground of all being.
existing, by the definition of ultimate as in everlasting, then yes.
Okay, now is there any?
As you can tell.
Okay, now is energy a plurality or is it a one?
Is energy a plurality or is it a one?
Yep. Is energy a plurality or one?
Not sure what that's supposed to even mean.
Is it two or more things? Is it two or more things or is it just one?
It's all energy in various states, so that will make it one, I suppose.
Okay, good. So now each proposition I make, right, which would require energy means nothing but energy. Therefore, our conversation right now has just been energy and nothing else. There's no background context. Everything is just therefore, that's a
I ever heard in my life.
That is a look. Honestly, he's been reduced to absurdity.
That's
He
so
can't
funny.
draw definitions between different concepts, right? Everything is one, right? So basically, that means that if he exists and I exist, and we disagree with each other, then God disagrees with itself. That's a contradiction, and obviously, the worldview is absurd because of that. So,
No,
yeah.
you guys are living in a fever
so
dream.
Nincloud,
Believe me.
you've been reduced to absurdity. You haven't offered a counter rebuttal.
I have done. I
do you
haven't been absurdity. You guys are being absurd.
No, you haven't offered a counter rebuttal. You've been reduced to absurdity as shown. I've stated everything in
no.
existence, including the
I haven't
proposition
been. I haven't been
means nothing
reduced
but
to
energy
absurdity,
because
and
you
here's.
stated that energy is everything that exists. So there's no background context to what we're actually
Look,
talking about. We're not even actually
I didn't hear him
discussing
say that at all.
the existence.
I mean, Ezra's just on a roll today, man. First Bob, now Nincloud. I mean, who's next?
I mean, it's pretty simple when you're being
No one,
incredibly
probably.
disingenuous.
I mean, who is that that's talking? Who's saying that? Is that Oracle guy again?
It is not.
Okay. What are you then? Who are you?
Wojak.
So
very, very nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you, Ojak. How are you?
Good. About yourself?
I'm good. So what's your problem with me?
The question you're proposing is a false dichotomy.
No, actually, it's not. So basically, what we
too,
have
but-
here is energy is everything, right? And since energy is everything, and he defined the ground of all being as being energy, and it's a one, it's not a plurality. Every proposition that actually exists means nothing but energy.
So I'm not talking about his answer. I'm talking about your question. Your question is a false dichotomy, even in your view.
What was my question?
I mean, you can't really get like that, bro. Try not to be so aggressive. We'll do it one at a time. Let him finish.
Yeah, stop muting people when they haven't done anything wrong.
Yeah, what was your question, very sad Wojak?
So the question of is something a singular or a set of particulars is a false dichotomy. You know there's a third choice.
Oh, what's the third choice? Please enlighten me.
Polyunal.
What's polyunal?
Do you think God is triunal?
Yeah. So you believe
that's a polyunal. That's a polyunal answer. That's a third answer.
Stop talking. So you believe what we have here is energy, and then inside of energy there's a plurality of
He's not
things, correct?
talking about energy. He's talking about your question.
No, but the question was posed towards you saying energy is ultimate. So that's what I'm asking. So what?
But the question is the question is disingenuously formed. I don't care about his answer. The question itself is disingenuously formed.
Okay, cool. So now this is what I'm gonna do here. So Nincloud, you've been reduced to absurdity. I'm gonna talk to Wojak now. Wojak, you just made a proposition, correct? Right?
Yep.
Now what is your where do you get your epistemic context from?
Are you asking me what's ultimate?
Yeah, basically something like that.
Space-time.
Space-time? What is space-time? Define that.
Space-time is the four-dimensional fabric that acts as the setting for all events and material. and matter, I should say.
Okay, is time infinite?
Is time infinite? No, time is sempiternal.
Okay, is there anything that started space-time?
No.
Okay, what is the substance of space-time?
Elaborate. What do you mean by the substance?
Okay, is substance immaterial? Is it physical? What's the properties of space-time?
It told you.
Yeah, it's the four-dimensional fabric that acts as the setting of all events and matter.
No, that's not telling me the substance. So is this bound by matter or is this non-physical?
Space-time is immaterial.
Okay. Was there anything primary to this?
No.
Okay, now can we derive particulars and state of affairs from space-time?
Yes.
Is space-time just a continued progress of events?
No.
Okay, so what we have here is you not have to defend, you not have to give a reason for why space-time as an immaterial substance can create matter. So how is it that this immaterial substance, how does it derive matter from non-matter?
There's a plethora of different theories, even though I wouldn't say that I
I don't
know
want
for
to hear a
sure.
theory. I just want to hear. I don't want to hear a theory. I want to hear the correct answer. Can you please give it?
So, matter is also sempiternal.
Matter is eternal.
Sempeternal.
What does that mean?
But sempiternal is a philosophical distinction from eternal, meaning that it exists for all time, but not infinitely into the past and future.
Okay. What is your justification for that?
My justification is that that matter cannot be created or destroyed.
Okay, and what rationally justifies the impossibility of it being destroyed?
That would violate the laws that space-time has instantiated.
Okay, and so you believe that okay, which laws did space-time put into motion to ground this?
The laws of nature, the laws of thermodynamics, the laws of logic, all of those basic ones.
Oh, that's an interesting one. The laws of logic. Space-time as this immaterial substance, is this substance intelligent?
No, that would be an agential property.
Okay, cool. So now you have two things to defend: how you can derive intelligence from non-intelligence, and how you can derive matter from non-matter. So can you please go over the first one, which would be how you can derive the matter from non-matter, please? I would love to hear that.
Yeah, matter just exists sempiternally. You don't have to derive it from non-material. Matter always exists. So that's an irrelevant objection.
No, you said it didn't exist eternally or going in past, infinitely in the past. You said it didn't exist. So it obviously it began to exist.
No, I said it would exist sempiternally, as in it always exists, but only within the finite space of time.
Yeah, that's a bit vague. So you have to explain.
No, it isn't.
Sure,
go ahead.
Yeah, that's a bit
Google
vague.
it.
No. Yeah, listen. So matter came into existence at a point in time, correct?
No.
Nope. So that means it did always exist in the past. So now you have two
Not
different.
infinitely into the past, but always
No,
in the past. Yes.
listen. We got to make the distinction here because you're going off with some basic philosophical terms that I have exhaustive understandings of. So now you said it didn't begin to exist, and then you said it existed eternally in the past, or you said something like that.
It doesn't begin to exist because it always exists, but that doesn't mean it infinitely exists.
Yeah, so that's a contradiction. That's a contradictory position.
No,
You're
it is
saying,
not.
Yeah, you're saying it.
Nope.
You're saying it always existed, but at the same time, it got created, or
No,
it
I
was-
didn't. I literally actually said
All
not
right.
that.
So, okay. So look in where should I put this? Look in hold on. I'm trying to find a good room. Yeah, just give me a second. I'm trying to look inside of a good room right now. An empty one. Okay, go to art and film. Okay, I'm gonna lay out your position. So you said, what did you say? You said matter is sempiternal.
Correct.
Now spell simp, because I don't I there's there's
It
different
is
ways.
SEMPITERNAL. Semp eternal in one word. I can DM it to you if you like.
No, I know how to spell eternal. I'm talking about simp.
Okay.
Okay, matter is sempiternal, right? And
That
what
is
does that
correct.
mean?
Sempiternal means you exist for all time.
Okay. So this means it exists for all time. So would that entail that there's no beginning?
It depends. Not in the colloquial sense of the word beginning.
Okay, so when we say beginning, what do you mean by beginning?
What I mean is a temporal edge. A place where you can no longer go back in time because that place and time doesn't exist.
So the instantiation of time space then.
So say that again, one more time, so because I'm gonna type this out. Go ahead.
The beginning is the finite edge, the place where you can no longer go further back in time because time does not go further back.
So you're saying that the beginning exists? There is a beginning. Whatever begins to exist has a cause.
In a very weird sense, you can say that, but you have to distinct it from the colloquial sense.
Okay, so there's this beginning point, right? And then I guess you're making this time argument that everybody gives me reason.
I think
Basically,
I
there's a
understand
beginning
what he's
point,
saying also.
and there's an infinite amount of time in between that point and this point. Is that what you're saying?
No, an infinite amount of time between this point and that point would mean we haven't reached this point.
Exactly. So I guess you're not
So
making
that's
that argument.
no. I'm saying time itself is finite.
Yeah, this sounds like a bit of a
Absolutely.
contradiction,
Perfect.
but before I defend that position that it's a contradiction, I first need to know some of these terms that you're using, because this is a bit confusing. What I have down is matter is simply eternal. It exists for all time. The beginning is the finite edge, and you cannot go back further. So I'm guessing what you're saying is if we have a straight line on a piece of paper, and we go to the far right, matter existed then, and there was no time before that. Couldn't go back further than that, right?
Yeah, so the way I would describe it is if you're talking about the page numbers in a book, there's no page numbers before the front cover.
Okay, cool. So do you hold the position that matter's existence is a brute fact? Is that what you're getting at?
No.
So what caused matter to exist?
Matter always exists. Nothing causes it to exist.
Oh, so that's again, okay. What's your rational justification for that?
That's how space-time is defined. Space-time
That's
and
not
matter
really
are just defined like that. Like
that's not justification. You have to actually appeal to something.
How
Oh,
about
So
the
what's the
conservation laws of matter and energy? Or the first law, thermodynamics. The energy
so
within
matter wasn't
a
created.
no.
So you're taking that a bit literally when it says matter and energy can't be created or destroyed.
Are you
yeah,
are,
But
are you
that's
what
saying
other
that
way
that's
is there to take it?
yeah,
are
yeah,
you
that thing applies
are you
to
saying that
everything inside.
a scientific
Hey,
model is
Ninpop,
being
don't
metaphorical?
overtalk me, dude. So listen, that's being applied to entities that exist inside matter. So that's a pretty bad position to take.
I don't even know who you're talking to at this point.
Yeah, I'm talking to you, Ojek. So matter is eternal, it exists for all time. The beginning is the finite edge, and you cannot go back further. Matter wasn't created. So matter existed in the beginning, and matter wasn't created. Correct? So that means nothing
Yes.
created matter. So do you know what the PSR is?
I don't know. I don't remember what it is. I've
It's
heard it,
called
but
principle. It's called principle of sufficient reasoning. If something exists, there was a causal explanation for why it exists. Okay. Now, this position that you're holding clearly violates the PSR.
I'm
You
sorry.
have a refuter.
If something begins to exist, it must have a cause.
If something exists, there's an explanation for its existence, or there was something causal for its existence.
Is this something? Is this something true of everything that exists in actuality?
Yes. So do you have a refuter for the PSR, or is the PSR, or do you hold the position that the PSR is just a refuter for your whole worldview?
My question was: is everything that exists in actuality must have causal relation to something that came before it?
According to the PSR, yes. So now, if you look in art and films, we have the PSR right here, right? Principle of sufficient reason. If you need the definition